Kia ora and welcome back to another Boks Watch here on Aotearoa Rugby Pod. Now it's a little bit late in that the Boks squad came out last week, but it came out after our show. So let's get into this Boks squad and what it looks like. The first thing when I looked at the squad naming was looking at the utility backs and utility forwards section. They don't name their squad with traditional positions. Now there is a segment for both of those things within the way they name it. It's just another evolution of the way that rugby teams look at things.
What I always look at is the utility factor, or they call utility, we call versatility, is it's the bomb. That's how they make up the bomb squad. And it's almost like, sometimes you feel like the bomb squad can be better than the starters. Do you know what I mean? Because of the impact they can have on the game and that ability to play multiple positions. And, you know, I suppose the ultimate is Andre Esterhuizen in terms of playing forwards or backs, you know, similar to what Leicester sort of has tried to mimic. And then obviously, you know, their third hooker is a prop hooker. That creates versatility to the point that you sometimes, like, I know this is worst case scenario, but from a bomb squad point of view, if you have three guys that can play prop, and say there's yellow cards or there's injuries and, you know, they don't want to go to golden oldies.
No.
The scrum is their weapon.
Yeah.
So to have people that can go, actually, no, we're good enough to play international level at prop, you know, it gives them the ability to keep playing to their strengths. So in rugby teams, one of the biggest things in terms of squad makeups is, and understanding in the preparation of the week, is all the what ifs. And what ifs are massive. It's like, okay, what back's going to play flanker if we get a yellow card? You know, what are we going to do if we go down to golden oldies? How are we going to run it? All those sorts of things are thought out. And you know, Rassie's always ahead of the game. And you can see, I think, in the makeup of the squad, okay, worst case scenario, you know, if I go a 7-1, who can go where and what can be done? Or if I go a 6-2, and he's very, like, when you look at his squads, although they can be sometimes a riddle, in his head, he is covering what I believe would be every basis possible.
He's got a 43-man squad for this tour, including Argentina. Now, it looks like that they're leaving 15 players behind to wait, but they've got so many of those guys who are their senior players who are coming back from injury. Eben Etzebeth, Sia Khaleesi, you know, those guys, that trip to Argentina is going to be massive for them. That game, getting those guys back up to speed and ready for that test match.
It isn't who's back, it's who have they left out, you know, from that July series that performed. And the depth, you know, like, you do get to the point and you feel, is this the deepest squad, which we've spoken about at length, I understand, but it is really amazing when you see all those names come back and guys that perform that didn't make the cut, and the opportunity that presents themselves with Argentina prepares them really, really well to know or iron the kinks out, because there will be kinks. They haven't played at rugby for a long time. Feinberg-Mngomezulu would be a prime case, because you'd think he's their number one. You know, statistically, he's out and out their number one in terms of attack metrics, point differential. You know, in basketball terms, what do they call it? Plus minus.
Yeah.
He would have a huge plus minus against top nations, against your All Blacks, your Islands, your French. So opportunity to get him some minutes and have him play a role where, you know, a few months ago, I don't think that was on the cards.
Yeah.
And it provides you know, a lot of interest in those Argentinian games in the lead up to see where all of them are at. To ideally, I think, like all of us, All Blacks fans and All Blacks players and staff included, you want the best players out there. You want to test yourself against the best 23, that first test in Joburg, and I think all stars are starting to align for both squads.
So we looked at the stats for the first five, and rather than looking necessarily at, you know, last year in the Rugby Championship or looking at their overall record as a first five, we looked at their games against New Zealand, Ireland and France. You know, probably the three best teams in the world outside of South Africa over the last little while. Sacha Feinberg-Mngomezulu, when he plays, and admittedly there's only 4 starts against those teams, an average margin of plus 15.8. And when you look at those other guys, and again, this is for New Zealand, France and Ireland games played for and against, Handré Pollard has played 20, His average margin is -1.1. Admittedly, he has played in some down eras in Springbok rugby. It hasn't all been roses for him. So there've been close games there for Andre.
It just shows you Feinberg-Mngomezulu is all-out attack.
Yeah.
You know, he is going to match fire with fire. Like we've spoken about the All Blacks and their mindset to be all-out attack. Like he is the guy. I'm not saying he's Carlos Spencer, but I am saying he's Carlos Spencer-like. It's the no-look kick, no-look pass. He's going to do things that you haven't seen before in a rugby field and try and catch you off guard. And the other thing is he wants to win by 15 points. You know, even you think about, I can't remember the opposition it was. It might have even been the Lions. No, it can't have been. But when he did that, like he was going for a 50-22, he chased the kick and he scored a try.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And then he, you know, it was the game he just had an amazing, not once did he take the pedal off.
Yes.
It would have been easy to, you know, like, but from a methodical standpoint, it wasn't like he was trying to create more for himself. He was playing footy.
Yeah.
He was looking up and he's going there. And that's a big threat because defensively he's hard to prepare for because of the unknown, which then creates the hesitation to allow the basics to shine as well. Do you know what I mean by that? It's like defensively, if you create hesitation, just staying square to the line and giving a ball, you know, at the face of the defence or showing a dummy just creates hesitation. So although you're expecting the phenomenal, sometimes the basics will do the job because of that expectation.
Manie Libbok, when he plays +8 as a margin, he also is an attacking player. He's also trying things.
Yeah, I think he's a mould of both. You know, he's got the ability to win games, you know, in threes and you know, I suppose settle things down and get the result.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like Feinberg-Mngomezulu is, even if the game's in the balance, he's attacking.
Yeah.
He's all chips in. That's just the way he plays. Whereas Libbok, I think, he's got, I suppose, the patience of a Pollard to win a game, you know, by threes or in a sort of chess style. And then he does have the ability to crank up the flair if the pitches present in a timely manner.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like the defence will dictate how he makes the decisions, which is normal players. I'm just saying Feinberg-Mngomezulu doesn't see like that. You can give him a defensive picture, but he still thinks he can wear you down.
Yeah.
Or find a gap or find a weakness. And that is where, you know, you suppose you take test one, for example, Feinberg-Mngomezulu starts and it doesn't go to plan. Then you can go, like, because he's rotated them so much, you can go to Libbok to make sure you win the second test. Not suggesting you're going to lose the first test. I'm just saying from a point of view that they have options and styles do make fights, especially in different parts and on the high veld and not on the high veld is extremely interesting.
That's probably the key selection decision, although it sounds like it's a pretty clear one. If Sacha's fit, off you go.
Well, the stats say that, and that's what I think the average punter would say.
Yeah. But
especially to start the series. If things get tight, like he's not going to pull the handbrake up, even if they lose the first one. It's just the style of play. That's what makes him so great.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that is the key decision, because although we're talking about nines being the factor for most international sides, I still think they're a very first five orientated led team, rather than I suppose they chop and change their nines as well. But I wouldn't say they would be led as much from an attacking point of view by their nines.
They're more led from a kicking point of view by their nines.
Yeah, that's their. But like I suppose you saw a couple of times where they snipe, but a lot of their play will come off maybe just nines delivering to the big boys to win that collision, to get that dent, and then the 10s flatten hard, or they go to their box kick. And that's the difference. I don't think they're trying to manipulate as much as other teams with their forwards around that pod.
Their forwards obviously is the key part to this, and looking at that squad, I mean, just seeing the lock depth with the guys coming back with his Lud Diaka, Franco Mostert, Eben Etzebeth, like there's just so much there. And Corbus Visa did a great job, you know?
And I don't see a world where he doesn't start.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like the way he played, you know, like, and that's the beauty of the Argentinian two games is that's really going to set a clear pattern. And the best thing is those three senior vets you've just named have got to come back and deliver.
Yeah.
Like, that's the scary thought, is like this, the current guys that got given the opportunity has worked perfectly in Rassie's hands, because now he's got a team that's like, well, it's going to be hard to pick a 23.
Yeah.
And then you've got these vets coming back wanting to say, hey, my time's not done. I mean, it's a scary thought for Argentina.
And you're a 2-time World Cup winner and arguably the best in your position your country's ever seen. And you have to come back and earn that spot.
And I think there'll be some surprises.
Yeah.
I think some of them will be left out. They may have been surpassed through the opportunity presented by Rassie.
It's a tremendous type 5. When you look at what they want to achieve, I suppose through control, through their tempo, through striking when the opportunity's there. If you look at that 43 and the way they're trying to play, and then you look at New Zealand's 44 and the way that they're trying to play, are they equally effective in the way they're going to approach the game?
They're perfectly set. Like, I don't think either squad has a player unavailable that they would. You know, if Feinberg-Mngomezulu wasn't available, I think he'd be a key person. You'd be like, oh, you know, that could make that 43 much better. But if you look at it on the whole, at both squads, they've got their men, and they've got them peaking. Well, I think the All Blacks have got their men peaking at the right time. I think the Argentinian test will allow the vets to get back to where they need to be to fight for those starting spots. So I think come test 1, both sides are, you know, injury aside, because there could be injuries between now and then, they are in a prime position to present two of the best test sides we've seen go head-to-head in a long time.
It's going to be exciting. That's this week's Boks Watch. We'll get plenty more into it when it gets closer and we've got a few more things to talk about. We'll catch you soon.